Topical Presentation of Industrial Proletariat and the Making of the Working Class by Elena Matthews.
1. The Making of the Working Class.
In Rochester in the 1700s, the working system was made up of boys that got apprenticed to a master of his craft, journeymen or apprentices that had already graduated from the apprenticeship, and then the master himself.
They all worked close to each other, and the masters eventually thought of the kids as their own. But in the 1820s everything changed.
Masters now wanted a more economical business, so they moved their businesses away from their houses, created a larger workplace, and made more men work for pay, rather than for learning the skills of the trade.
Later in the 1850s, Philadelphia was becoming more economically involved and larger factories were taking over individual small businesses.
Employers needed more space, so factories were moved into different districts like the commercial district and the residential district.
The residential district further developed into the employer class and the working class.
In result, the workers now lived more outside the town while the employers lived in the center. Therefore, workers now started working for pay, and most of the time barely knew their employer.
2. An industrial proletariat.
Machines were starting to become much more popular in the working force. This would displace the workers.
Another thing machines would do is that they would cause skilled workers to either create businesses or become lower in class and become hired workers.
In Europe, the effect of the machines caused a large movement towards strikes, protests, and the creation of political parties for the working class and the unions.
America was much different. Some people think that the uninvestigated frontier of the West caused unhappy workers to explore rather than protest.
Another reason is that the differences in the workers, such as ethnics, could have caused the workers to separate themselves and not see themselves as one class. Not to mention that the pre-existing artisans did not work in factories because their work was still demanded, as factories could not support all of the growing nation of America.
The improved condition of the factories were also good in comparison to other jobs, so that may have caused the people not to strike.
In the actual factories, it was not the men who worked, but it was women and children. In that age, about 1 in every 2 workers was under the age of 16. People weren't overly worried about the child labor since they saw it as keeping the young busy and generating profits for a family.
Most factories would hire not just one individual, but a family unit. Off the money that the children would bring in, families could live comfortably, and for them, this was better than nothing, and success would sate their appetites.